भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवते नैष्टिके। ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। काञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपदाय पृष्ठविष्ठय विदले प्रभुपादति प्रिय श्री गिरिराजाय स्वामिने सुवक्त्रशास्त्र विज्ञाय दिदसान्याशमिने राधादास बिहारी भक्ति देशात्मदायिने। नमो विष्णुपदाय पृष्ठविष्ठय विदले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। मूखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्। हरे कृष्ण। सो वेलकम बैक। दिस टू मच एको एको ज़्यादा है। So we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29, text 32. So this is talks between Narada and King Prachinabarhishat. So we are on text 32, but actually I started reading back and making my notes from the previous verses, so maybe we can go through it again. Okay, I So the theme here is misery. That's what the entire theme here is. Samsara, and the misery of material life. So with old age, how death is coming and how this repeated birth and death is simply, actually it's because the room also is like, it's, no, the room also is big, without empty, it's amplified. So this entire section is about misery. The misery of being in the material world and how to escape from this misery. So I'm on text 25, the last verse, the last paragraph. Text 25, the last paragraph. Knowing the basic misery of material existence, one should be induced to get out of the material clutches and return home back to Godhead. So this is what is going to be discussed in the coming verses, how to come out. And it's very intense. And I'm reading this sentence by sentence. Literally, I'm rewriting the purport. That's what I do, I rewrite. Because with rewriting, then it goes in. And I'm really seeing how I'm stuck, with all the anarthas, with all the attachments, very, very subtle. So remember that Srimad Bhagavatam, the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam is how to get out of the material clutches, right? Clutches, we know what's clutches, right? Like in cuff also, right? It's clutched us, right? How to come out. This is the horrible thing. So, just read this. Manifold miseries encircle the transcendental living entity simply because he desires to satisfy his senses in this material world. So how is it that we have come into this material world and we come in the clutches of material energy? Because here manifold miseries encircle. He's just caught. It's like the fire all around. Just see what the language Prabhupada is, the words Prabhupada is using. Manifold miseries encircle the transcendental, meaning the living entity is transcendental, but he's engulfed, he's encircled by misery. Why? Because his desire to enjoy material sense gratification. So how to come out? If he simply withdraws from activities of sense gratification and applies his senses in the service of the Lord, all the problems of material existence, so now listen to this very carefully. So now it's like, because we are on that path, we have gradually stopping the path of sense gratification, all right? And what are we doing? We are withdrawing our senses from material sense gratification, and we are applying the sensor in the service of the Lord. And what does Prabhupada say, Anupama?
All the problems of material existence will immediately diminish.
Okay. All the problems of material existence will immediately diminish. What does that mean, diminish? What's the meaning of diminish? Lessen. Reduce, okay? Prabhupada didn't say
finish.
All right? He didn't say finish, he didn't say vanish. He said diminish. Right? This is very, very significant, isn't it? You say all the material problems, the problems of material, all, not just few, but all the problems of material existence will immediately diminish. This is number one. And then next, what did he say? What does Prabhupada say?
All transformations.
And?
After giving up the body, will return.
No, sentence by phrase. Then what Prabhupada says. So the problems diminish and then? Yes, meaning the next step, meaning when there's advancement, all right? It's a long path, but we have to tread it. Then with advancement of Krishna consciousness, he will be freed from all tribulation. Does it stop there? No. He'll be freed from all tribulation, but meaning that even while you are in this material world, it's going to be there, but just like it's there. But the reward is what?
Going back.
Yeah. The reward, okay? This is realistic, isn't it? This is realistic. Meaning that it's not that my knee will not pain, it's not that this one will not hurt me, right? Or that, the rain will not disturb me, right? Everything will continue, right? But it will be diminished. And the tribulation, because what happened is that we go on lamenting, like somebody hurt us and we can't stop talking about it. So that tribulation will go, diminish and go, but it may still be there in the heart. And that, what do you have to do? Next verse, I will say tolerate. You can do nothing except tolerate, right? But if we live our life that way, then at the time of death, we go back home, back to Godhead. Is this realistic? All right. So that was important, right? It's not like a magic wand. Magic wand, we fall in this material world and you become devotee and everything, suddenly you find yourself straight in Vaikuntha. It's not working that way. All right, Koshali? My God, now just read the next one. It's as if I never read all this, so that's why I'm going back again. Text 26, 27. The living entity by nature. See, Prabhupada keep telling us he writes this everywhere. But here is the Sanskrit itself. Where will you find it? The living entity by nature has minute independence to choose his own good or bad fortune. Right? Like we keep saying, your choice. Make your choice, right? It's up to you. Here it is. So Prabhupada speaks of one word, Shwadrik. Shwadrik. Shwadrik means to see one's own welfare. What you believe to be your welfare. This is what you choose. So what does he do? So he has the independence to choose his own good or bad fortune. But so now if meaning his good fortune means that we stay with Krishna. Bad fortune is that we accept the material existence, meaning that we forget Krishna. And when we forget Krishna, what happens? He gives himself up unto the modes of material nature, because there are only two alternatives. It's either Krishna or the gunas. All right? So the gunas will capture us. Being influenced by the modes of material nature, he identifies himself with the body. So first thing, what happens when the gunas capture us?
You identify yourself with the body.
Yes, this is the first thing, and that's why we become fearful as old age comes. Everything going, we become fearful, right? Because we identify that I am becoming old, I am going to die, I'm going to be lonely, I'm going to be alone, or whatever it is, right? So we start identifying with the body, and for the interest of the body becomes attached to various activities. This is when we start doing our karma. So first is that we identify with the body. Why we identify with the body?
Because we have got entangled with the modes of nature.
It was the modes of nature. What's the modes of nature?
Illusion, Maya Shakti.
Yeah, meaning that Krishna has his body and material nature has material body. Alright? So these gunas create a body for us. Huh? Those three gunas, they create the body for us. And it's a false body. It's not a real body, it's a false body, depending on our desires. So what we do?
The moment we start thinking about our body, that means we've got entangled with the modes of nature.
Yes, yeah. Being influenced by the modes of material nature, he identifies himself with the body, and for the interest of the body, he was going to do so many karma, right? For the interest of the body, just like it's so horrific now these days. We are so much in the news. Before coronavirus, I never look at the news. After coronavirus, I got addicted, watching the news, this one, that one, everybody just running for power, right? The whole world. Anyway, maybe coronavirus diverted our attention, but actually it was always there, right? Everybody's running for power. So we become attached to various activities. Anyway, for me, it's good that I look at all these asuras, because when I read in Bhagavatam about asuras, I don't have to imagine anything. I just look this one, that one, right? How they're going to go and capture. I just saw in the news, the North Pole, and I thought of Hiranyaksha. The Arctic, is it? Arctic Pole. What's that?
Arctic Circle.
Arctic Circle. So, because all of them messing up, what's happening? It's melting, right? So they say in I don't know how many decades, it's going to completely melt. According to you, what's going to happen?
The sea will rise and flood the land. That's what.
Anyway, I don't know what's going to happen, but at least I know what happened with Hiranyaksha, right? Meaning that, I think we read somewhere also, that the earth has a balance, right? Maybe we read in third canto. The earth has a balance. And when the Supreme Lord created this earth, he has deposited, minerals and oils and gold, different things in different places in order to keep the balance. So what do you think all these asuras are doing? What do you think they are doing now? They are all running for that melted ice. Because when the ice melts, so below there are huge natural resources, and all those, US, Europe, whoever is in that area, everybody is putting their flag, this is mine, this is mine. Complete Jarasan, I don't know which Sunda, that Sunda, all asuras, right? Yeah, we are on Facebook now. You don't know who may hear us and may slaughter us, right? Because that's what they do. I heard one lady, she spoke something, right? Her life is in danger now. They're after her.
Because of her speaking, already 3 people are dead.
Yeah, I heard.
Those who supported her speaking, all 3 of them, their throat is being slit.
Yeah, and they're after her now,
Now
right?
they are after her.
So this is what we are talking about here. I'm just giving you the example. This is real life. When you live Krishna, right? When you live Krishna, then you fall in the grip of this modes of material nature, and you can become an asura, a sura, or a human being, or you can become an animal. These are the choices.
Sura, asura, human being, animal.
Yes. So it becomes attached to various activities. Sometimes in the modes of ignorance, I just described now, ignorance and passion. And sometimes in goodness, the living entity thus gets different types of bodies under the modes of material nature. So the choice of body is ours, depending on what? Desire. Yeah. Desire which produces our karma. All right. And just listen to this now. I mean, we already read it, but oh God, I lost something. Yeah, these competitors, right? I just described the competitors. So here we are. That's why I'm taking, this is real life history. Because you may think, what is all this? What is Prabhupada talking about? So Prabhupada is explaining here that the living entity, part and parcel of Krishna, starts his own business to compete with the Lord. All right? There are many competitors out to attain the Lord's position, but to become like the Lord is not at all possible. Thus, there is a great struggle for existence with the material world as different parties try to imitate the Lord, meaning that we all fight with each other for supremacy. Right? So this Hiranyaksha, and somebody is describing, this Russian leader, right? So that's what it is, everybody competing. Don't tell this to your kids, Smita. Don't teach this to your kids. Don't take the names, all right? Don't take the names. But that's exactly what it is. Like this Jarasan, was he like doing this human sacrifice? Was that him? Jarasan? I think so. He was doing human sacrifice. He would capture all these kings, and that's what it is. Don't think this is just fiction in Srimad Bhagavatam. This is real. So he would capture human beings and do Balidan, something like this, to goddess Kali. So this is what they do here, Then Prabhupada said the Mayavadis also, they are trying to imitate God. So what do? They say, let me become one with God. Right? Sorry? Bhomasur. Oh, that was Bhomasur, who was doing human. Anyway, one of the asuras, all right? Some asura. Okay, now 28. So where do we go? So this Jeev who forgets Krishna, where does he go? Those who are situated in the mode of goodness act piously according to Vedic instruction. Thus they are elevated to the higher planetary systems where the demigods live. Those who are influenced by the mode of passion are engaged in various types of productive activities in the planetary systems where human beings live. Similarly, those influenced by the mode of darkness are subjected to various types of misery and live in the animal kingdom. Now Prabhupada will explain this. So, if we are in goodness, we go to the higher planetary system. If we are in passion, ignorance, passion, we are in the middle. And Prabhupada says Bhurlok and Bhuvarlok. They are like close to each other. Swargalok and the others are much, much higher. And then Atal, Atala, Vitala, Svitala, Talatala, Mahatal, Rasatal, Patal. Alright? So all these are below. So if we act in mode of ignorance, we go down or to animal. Now see what Prabhupada explains. This Ugra Karma, because remember our whole problem is about karma. Ugra Karma. So in Bhagavad Gita, such activities, meaning activities that are distressful, but still we do it. It's distressful, still we continue, we do it. Those who utilize the energies of the worker are called capitalists. Alright? So what they do, so they are engaging the workers. They are the capitalists. And those who actually perform the work are called laborers. All right? In actuality, they are both capitalists. Why? Actually, they are both capitalists. Yeah. Yes. Right? It's like the capitalists are at the mercy of the laborers, right? The laborers say, I'm not working, and you're gone, right? And the laborers, they're also at the mercy of the capitalists. I don't know, somehow I read about how the cotton industry in Mumbai closed down. You know? Anyway, somehow my curiosity made me Google so much stuff. Because I was wondering, why is it that cotton is not available? Why is it that we are running so much to get cotton? So then I read the story of Bombay with the textile industry. I mean, you know, this is your history, right? How it closed down, right? So this exact story here, capitalists and laborers. Horrific, horrific. So the result is you have nothing today. Anyway, it's pathetic, it's really pathetic. You know, when Prabhupada says Kali Yuga is bad, you read the story, then you look around you, you know, this is not theory, this is real life. In other words, see, individually we are living at home, everybody is having their own problem, everybody is suffering in their own way. Why are we sitting in Bhagavatam class just to, you know, read story or what? Right? So that's why I'm just trying to show, you know, so that you understand where we are, you know, and we make a plan, make a program, you know, to move out, and the program is given here. Yeah, so now, so these are the capitalists and the laborers. So they are just working for sense gratification, but higher than them are the karmis. The karmis. The karmis are those who they use the Vedic injunctions, so they are in the mode of goodness, Prabhupada says. In contrast to these men, are those influenced by the mode of goodness, namely the karmis and jnanis. So the karmis, what are they doing? They use the Vedic injunction to go to Swargalok. Alright? And the jnanis, they also study the scripture to merge in Brahman. They are in mode of goodness, Prabhupada is saying. Alright? In this way, all classes of living entities in various species of life are existing within this material world. This explains superior and inferior life forms within the material world. Are you able to follow this? See, this is real thing, you know, why is it that one is high class, one is low class, one is middle class, one is an animal, one is born in China, one is born in Japan, one in Korea, one in India, one in Assam, one in Bombay, right? They are people, they are being gathered in specific localities. They have a certain desires, like Bombay, you know, like I feel very sorry, you know, gradually I see, you know, all the devotees are moving out, this one, that. So one devotee told me, Mataji, Bombay is our karma kshetra. I said, what does that mean, karma kshetra? We only come here to work and then we go away in our retirement time. You follow? How a city, how a population is made. Right? So you're coming together for a specific purpose and then you're dispersed. So this should make us think. So that's how all these different communities also exist. the Agarwal community, this community, that one. This came to my mind because somebody, what's your name? Agarwal. I said, Agarwal? Marwari, you know what? Agarwal, we are Vaishyas. Patel, right? Right? This is how it's formed. In this way, all classes of living entities in various species of life are existing within this material world. So do you understand, do you realize that actually it's false? Like I'm a Patel, I'm a Agarwal, I don't know what are the other Guptas, Sharmas, I don't know what. Do you understand this is all false? Are you able to follow this? Because they're temporary. Today you're Patel, tomorrow you become a Gupta, I don't know. Sharma, Varma. I just read in this Bhavishya Puran, you know. I don't know how I came across this. So it said that Brahmanas should be given the name Sharma, and Kshatriyas are named Varma. The Kshatriyas, they are named Varmas. And it says similarly, the Vaishyas, some name to do with nutrition. I don't know what's that. Anybody knows? Those who feed. So what's those names? And those, okay, just put on your seat belt. All right, the Shudras. Do you know what's their title? Arogya. Arogya. Yeah. Meaning the Shudras, they are absorbed only in health. Characteristic of the Shudras. No, Bhagavatam is so good.
They absorb only in the health.
That's why they're called Shudras. Meaning they're worried only about health, right? Characteristic. So accordingly, so they get their names. But I think politically, people started to hide their names. They started to change some things. I think politically for work or whatever, I don't know.
That SC/ST, you come under that SC/ST, the government was giving.
Scheduled castes and tribes, like they get a preference in getting employment.
So you put the bottom up.
So we put the
Right.
bottom up, whether qualified, not qualified. And many top also go to bottom only to get that benefit. Nowadays that has also started.
Yeah. Yes, because survival, right? Arogya. You understand the whole science? When Prabhupada is saying in Kali Yuga it's Shudras and some Vaishyas. Kalo Shudra Sambhava, right? That's what. All right. So I'm just coming on this point, you know, in this way all classes of living entities in various species of life are existing within this material world. I was rereading this and I thought this is so important. That's why I'm covering it again. 29. Covered by the mode of ignorance in material nature, the living entity is sometimes a male, sometimes a female, sometimes a eunuch, sometimes a human being, sometimes a demigod, sometimes a bird, an animal, and so on. In this way, he is wandering within the material world. His acceptance of different types of bodies is brought about by his activities under the influence of the modes of nature. So this is how the soul gets covered by the cloud of Maya. What is this? I think we should all put silent. Yes, so there is only one way that we can come out from the grip of this cloud of Maya. What is that way? It is surrender to Krishna. All right? Only by the grace of Krishna can one get out of the clutches of Maya. It is not possible to get out by mental speculation or other activities. When the living entity understands his real position by the grace of Krishna, he keeps himself always, Shashi? Yeah, I'm on page 712, the last paragraph. Only by the grace of Krishna can one get out of the clutches of Maya. It is not possible to get out of by mental speculation and other activities. When the living entity understands his real position by the grace of Krishna, he keeps himself always fit. Arogya, right? Keeps him.
Here, it's not the physical fitness.
Yeah.
It's the overall consciousness fitness.
It is what fitness? Read.
Himself fit in Krishna consciousness.
In Krishna consciousness, all right? Keep ourselves fit in Krishna consciousness. Our health should be in Krishna consciousness. We should be spiritually healthy, all right? We should be spiritually healthy. Fit in Krishna consciousness and acts accordingly. Thus, he gradually becomes completely free. Again, you know, the word is gradually. Thus, he gradually becomes completely free from the clutches of Maya. When he is strong in Krishna consciousness, Maya cannot touch him. In this way, in the association of Krishna conscious devotees, the living entity can get free from the contamination of material existence. You remember we read some verses back, how that soul, right? How this soul becomes a total fool, right? And observer, you know the chariot? The mind and the intelligence have got captivated by the gunas, passion, ignorance, and sattva, right? And then, so now the mind gets contaminated, the intelligence gets contaminated, and the soul is, though an observer, also becomes contaminated. You know, I'm going over and over this, you know, see, while you're sitting here and listening, you know, I'm not speaking, right? This is Srila Prabhupada speaking. And personally, maybe we'll have some disagreement. I come out of this room, you know. I'll say one thing, you say another thing, you know. We'll have disagreement, all right? We'll leave this aside. We are now reading what Prabhupada is teaching us. I'll be most happy if you just remove me from the picture, right? That you're just understanding what Prabhupada is telling you here. All right? So we become contaminated. The soul becomes contaminated. That's why we fight. Everybody wants to be the controller, right? We just saw the competition. It's so wild. It's absolutely, completely wild. Devotee, no devotee, everybody is contaminated, right? So here Prabhupada is saying, in this way, so gradually, so when one is strong in Krishna consciousness, Maya cannot touch him. But when we are not strong, and I don't think we are that strong, I don't think we are that strong. You know, we are reading, we are practicing somehow or other. But strong in Krishna consciousness, that's something very high. Then Maya cannot touch us. So Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami says, Tate Krishna bhaje kare guru ra sevana Maya jala chute paya Krishnera charana. In the Krishna conscious state, the living entity engages in devotional service under the direction of the spiritual master. In this way, he gets out of the clutches of Maya and takes shelter under the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So this is Prabhupada guiding us, all right? Every step by step. The living entity is exactly like a dog. I think that's where we came.
We finished this. We have to start this.
God. I mean, just so insulting, right? The tail is missing. You know, Smita, she's a storyteller, you know that, if you don't know her. You know, someday we're going to put her here and make her tell the story. She's a super Putana storyteller. The living entity is exactly like a dog. Where's that? Shutparito yathadinaha. Sarameya. Sarameya griham griham. Really, Shukadeva Goswami doesn't spare us, right? Right? Shukadeva Goswami doesn't spare us. And this Narad Muni speaking, right? He's saying the living entity is like a dog going from house to house. Sometimes he's fed and sometimes he's punished. How do you feel, you know, I mean, the women, they get married, right? And sometimes they're treated like dogs in their own households, right? I have this lady who told me after 6 months, her husband threw her out of the house, you know, threw her out of the house. She said that I was with the dog. A dog. She said that's where I spend the night, with the dog. You know, but she's such a woman. She tolerated him and lived her whole life with him. She told me this. She said, you learn to tolerate the small thing that happened among you in the temple. You learn. 6 months. I asked why. He says the man is frustrated. He's stuck with that one woman.
Mataji, what happens when we tolerate?
Well,
Why does Krishna say again and again tolerate?
well, if I'm to tell you the story of this devotee, she's so glorious today. She's already left her body, my friend, you know. What I'm saying is that this is what it is, you know, the dog, right? You get married to this man who treats you like a dog, right? And here Bhagavatam is saying the living entity, when you give up the company of Krishna, you become a dog. You go griham, right? Sometimes you get married in this house, sometimes you get married in somebody else's house, and how they treat you? Like a dog. Or Prabhupada says, you take your certificate, you go, let me become my master, become my master, become my master, right? So you see now where Prabhupada got it? From the verse itself. You may think that it's all, you know, like so, you know, like Prabhupada exaggerating or whatever. But here, the living entity is exactly, oh my God, what a word, exactly. Not even just like, no, exactly. And he's overcome by thirst, hunger and thirst. Goes from door to door for some food according to his destiny. Now we ask, what is this? According to his destiny, he sometimes receives punishment and is driven out, and at other times receives a little food to eat. Charan, so charan vindati yad dishtam dandam odanam evava. I mean, who can remain, passive, right, after reading this? I mean, what is Narad Muni doing here? He is jhamjhorous, right? So just understand, when you give up your real master, right? You have to become the dog of all men and women in this world. Just because you give up the company of Krishna. Charan vidanti yaddishtam. Charan wandering, vindati receives, yat woos, dishtam according to destiny. Dishtam according to destiny. Dandam punishment. Odanam food, eva certainly, va or tatha similarly. Kama ashayaha, pursuing different types of desires. Similarly, the living entity being influenced by so many desires wanders in different species of life according to destiny. Sometimes he's high, sometimes he's low. Sometimes he goes to the heavenly planets, sometimes he goes to hell, sometimes to the middle planets, and so on. So, an intelligent human being, however, can understand that he has to live the life of a dog. He had best become Krishna's dog. Anyway, dog we are, right? People are going to just push us here and there. You know, the biggest pleasure of anyone is to have you under their control. This is the highest pleasure any man or woman has. They can possess you, they can control you. Like they control machines, right? They capture a human being, right? This is the highest pleasure, the asuras, right? So why not become Krishna's dog? Prabhupada is Indian Krishna's dog. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Vaishnava Thakura Tumara Kukura Baliya Janaha More. Let me become a Vaishnava's dog. A dog always keeps himself at his master's door and doesn't allow any person unfavorable to the master to enter. Similarly, one should engage in the service of a Vaishnava and try to please him in every respect. Unless one does so, he doesn't make spiritual advancement. Apart from spiritual advancement in the material world, if one doesn't develop his qualities in goodness, he cannot be promoted to the higher planetary system. So two things Prabhupada say, at least, be in mode of goodness so that you can go higher, but you don't go down. Okay, text 32. So that was a good review. It was worth it, right? I read it, so no, this is,
We went through it very fast last time.
Yeah. 32. Together. Dukheshvaketarenapi deva bhutatmahetushu jivasya navyavaschedaha syatcha tattat pratikriya. Don't too louder. Just put it little bit. Yeah.
Translation. The living entities are trying to counteract different miserable conditions pertaining to providence, other living entities or the body and mind. Still, they must remain conditioned by the laws of nature, despite all attempts to counter these laws. Purport. Just as a dog wanders here and there for a piece of bread or punishment, the living entity perpetually wanders about trying to be happy and planning in so many ways to counteract material misery. This is called the struggle for existence. We can actually see in our daily lives how we are forced to make plans to drive away miserable conditions. To get rid of one miserable condition, we have to put ourselves in another kind of miserable condition. A poor man suffers for want of money, but if he wants to become rich, he has to struggle in so many ways. Actually, that is not a valid counteracting process, but a snare of the illusionary energy. If one does not endeavor to counteract this situation but is satisfied with his position, knowing that he has obtained his position through past activities, he can instead engage his energy to develop Krishna consciousness. This is recommended in all Vedic literature. Taseva hetu preta kovido nalabhyate yat ramatam upari ana nalabhyate dukhapat anyata sukham kalena sarvatra gabhira ramasa. Persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end, which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, down to the lowest planet, Patal. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries, even though we do not desire them. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam 1.5-8. One should simply try to develop his Krishna consciousness and not waste his time trying to improve his material condition. Actually, the material condition cannot be improved. The process of improvement means accepting another miserable condition. However, if we endeavor to improve our Krishna consciousness, the distresses of material life will disappear without extraneous endeavor. Krishna therefore promises, Mantya Paratijana Nami Bhaktya Pranashyati. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Bhagavad Gita 9.3. One who takes to the path of devotional service will never be vanquished, despite all miseries of the body and mind, and despite all miseries brought about by other living entities and problems, miseries which are beyond our control.
Yes, so now this is, what's the theme here?
The theme is, whichever situation you are, it's because of your karma. If you're poor, it's okay to remain poor, but divert all your energy in Krishna consciousness.
But what's the theme? Because the next few verses is going to be the same point.
Bob.
Yes. Yeah, so the theme is counteracting miseries. All right, because that's the whole life is going into counteracting miseries. All right, like remedies. Like, as soon as some problem happens, we say, what's a remedy? Whether it's health, whether it is legal, whether it is relationship, everything is, let me find a solution to it. And here, in this particular verse, the living entities are trying to counteract dukkeshu, in the matter of distresses, eta tarena, from one kind of P, even deva, providence, bhuta, other living entity, atma, the body, hetushu, on account of jivasya, of the living entity, na, never, vyavachedaha, stopping, syat, is possible, chet, all the tat of those miseries, praktikriya, counteraction. All right, so the theme of this section now is about pratikriya. Kriya means, I've done something. Pratikriya means now how do I undo, the contrary. How to solve the problem I have created through my action. Right? Yes, so here the first solution is given. What is the first solution? The very solution is given here. Yes, Krishna consciousness. But what's the first step? Yes. First thing must be satisfied in one's own position. Meaning this is very difficult if you ask me. This is extremely difficult. Why be satisfied in one's own position? Why? Yeah, but why?
Because it is obtained by his past activities.
Yes, and
Can't change. It genuinely can't change.
yes, and also
Can instant acknowledge his energy to develop.
because it's given by providence. That position, the position each and everybody has obtained. Like here, Prabhupada is giving the example of a poor man. All right, poor man. Who has made him poor? Providence, depending on his
Past karma.
activities. You follow the relationship? Right? So this is like a formula. It's actually a formula. Depending on past activity, providence has provided you something and you cannot change it. So how will you counteract this poverty?
So don't even pay attention to it. Do Krishna consciousness. That's what.
So usually the person, what will he do?
He will try to fight it out.
Yeah. All right. So if I'm born poor, should I remain poor all life? No. We all agree? What should we do? I'm just asking you, you have children, all of you, right?
Work hard.
Work hard. Sorry? No, just be real, okay?
No, work in Krishna consciousness means you do
What do we do, you know? No, I'm saying if you...
says that if she's born poor, then she should remain poor all throughout her life. That's the question. So how? I mean,
Okay, Priya Manjari, what you're saying? Okay? That means that we have to counteract that poverty, right? Do we succeed?
not in all cases.
Not in all. Sometimes people do succeed.
All right, that's where it comes. That's where it comes, right? That you try, that's where it comes, right? Meaning that if you are born poor, if you are destined for more, it will come automatically. Tasyeva hetu prayateta kovido na labhyate yad brahmatam uparyadaha tal labhyate dukhavad anyatha sukham kalena sarvatra gabhira ramhasa. Persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet Brahmalok down to the lowest planet Patal. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in the course of time. It just comes to you. You follow this? 1 minute. In course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries, okay, even though we do not desire them. You follow this?
Yes, but Mataji, the question means, I mean, we cannot be waiting for good times to come. We have to make some effort at least to.
We endeavor, but the point here is that,
The results are not enough.
yes,
It might come, it might not.
yes. So what do? We just spend our whole life, trying it. So here Prabhupada is saying, a poor man suffers for want of money. But if he wants to become rich, he has to struggle in so many ways. Actually, that is not a valid counteracting process, but a snare of the illusory energy. If one doesn't endeavor to counteract his situation, but is satisfied with his position, knowing that he has obtained his position through past activities, all right? See, very simple. By the age of 20, maybe a boy starts working, or maybe a girl is married, all right? Destiny is already becoming manifest, right? By the time you're 30, 35, it's obvious what you will get, usually, right? That's our everyday life. It's observing. Now you're trying. You count. What will you do? What do you do? So here Prabhupada is saying, instead of wasting time, let me work double. Let me, work triple. Best use that energy to develop your Krishna consciousness. I remember this one man, a businessman, pious in Mauritius, so we used to go door to door. I was collecting advertisement, for our magazine. So I went to his shop, and he was an Indian, so I'm speaking from India. So he welcomed us, and his store looked very shabby. Shabby in the sense that everything looked like old, all his cloth like all packed. And this man, he told me, his father is like millionaire, all right? And he says, I'm ashamed to say that I'm dependent on my father. I'm also working, my shop is here, I'm also doing my business. I cannot earn. And yet this man, without fail, will give me the advertisement for our magazine. So this is what I'm saying, that the father is millionaire, with the same name cloth business. And the son, by destiny, cannot make. So he was very depressed. Like he's a failure, in his family. Destiny is like this. One family, one becomes poor. So what to do? What to do here? Shastra is saying that you accept, right? And now he's a married man, he has children, so can you imagine what dignity he has?
Right? Say accept, that means still that person has to do the bare minimum to keep his both ends.
He is doing, but he will not become he will not become a wealthy man, all right? His quota is this much, he'll never become this much. It's not that I will just endeavor, by my endeavor is going to come this much. No. Here, in Bhagavatam, here, this persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined, all right, knows that my endeavor is this, I am endeavoring, I'm getting this much only, I will get this much only.
And
all right? Yes, meaning that if in my destiny, when the time comes, even with that small endeavor, suddenly it's going to be a windfall. Right? We understand this. This is how destiny works. And sometimes suddenly you get the windfall, right? You get a big boost, you become a big hero, right? A celebrity these days, everybody speaks of celebrity, what is a celebrity? Sorry, I don't know what's a celebrity, Every second person tell me, here's a celebrity, so I really don't know who is celebrity, right? Okay, all right, so...
Quick celebrity, they become celebrity for a month, 2 months, maybe a year, and then they disappear. When you are talking about this nowadays, Kali Yuga celebrity.
All right, so here we are, so that's the point, you go high, right? Big salary, big car, so many enjoyment, and then suddenly everything is finished. What is this? Destiny. All right, the wheel of time. All right, the wheel of time is giving and taking. So therefore, an intelligent and philosophically inclined. Tasyeva hetu prayeteta kovido. Kovido means an intelligent person. All right. He says, yes, I So should endeavor, it's not that there's no endeavor, should endeavor only for that purposeful end which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet down to the lowest planet, meaning that the spiritual happiness, Krishna consciousness, you will not get anywhere in this material world. Right? So you cannot change your destiny, but what can you change?
Moving out of this material.
No, you can advance in Krishna consciousness. by
Yeah,
living.
yes.
Coming out of this.
Yes, meaning where you can succeed. You cannot succeed in changing your destiny, but you can succeed in changing your misfortune of falling in this material world. This is the only thing you can change. This is super good information for all of us. Look at our Janma Patri, all right? This is fixed, all right? What is not fixed is how you develop your Krishna consciousness. Yeah. Okay. So one who takes to the path of devotional service will never be vanquished despite all the miseries of the body and mind, and despite all misery brought about by other living entities and providence. Miseries which are beyond our control. All right. One, so konteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashati. All right. So when one time, I'm famous, I'm this MLA, I'm this CM, I'm this one, and tomorrow I lose my designation, what will remain with you? What will remain with you is how much you have endeavored in your Krishna consciousness. It's very revealing all this.
Actually, the material condition cannot be improved.
Oh, yes.
Cannot
Okay.
be improved.
Yeah. Actually, the material condition cannot be improved. The process of improvement means accepting another miserable condition. You have to go and work for a boss, right? You have to put yourself at the beck and call of a boss, right? I shouldn't say other people also, right? However, if we endeavor to improve our Krishna consciousness, the distresses of material life will disappear without strenuous endeavor. What does that mean?
Naturally, things will look to change in your life on the material side also. It will turn brighter.
Yeah.
It might not go away, but you will get a focus probably.
Well, actually, yeah, it means that if you endeavor in Krishna consciousness, your material life will also improve without separate endeavor, automatically. Because why these miseries are being imposed upon us? Because we are not Krishna conscious. So this is a very good clue. If we find we are mental suffering, emotional suffering, then we should immediately know that I'm not Krishna conscious. And therefore we have to make the endeavor to become Krishna conscious. And here Prabhupada is saying again and again the same thing. Misery is a body and mind, and misery caused by other living entities. Which is worse? Yeah, adibautic, right? Adibautic, because they're so expert, right? The expert upon inflicting misery. Where did you read this? Where did you read this?
In your book only, Mataji, Vedic philosophy.
No. Where did we read this? That other living beings are expert upon inflicting misery upon you. Where did we read it? Remember the competition for supremacy? Why would they let you go ahead? Right? Competing with the Supreme Lord, imitator, God, and everybody is trying to imitate God, and therefore there is competition. So why will anybody let you go ahead of you? So that's why this misery imposed by the living entities is the most horrible. Because misery imposed by body and mind. How does misery come to the body? Or the mind? How do disease come? Yes. Yes. Usually disease come by going against the laws of nature. Right? It's very interesting, I mean, the last few years I just stayed in India, so I experienced all climates, one after the other. Very, very interesting to see, this change and how you cope with it. Right? If you do not follow, you really do not follow the cycle of the season, they work against you. Completely they work against you. So, meaning this misery of the body can still be under control to some extent. If we have some bad karma, right, past life karma, even though you take all precautions, suddenly you get a disease and you die, right? You didn't do anything wrong, you had a very good sadhvik life, etc. Suddenly the disease appeared and then your life is finished. This is destiny, right? Mind, what about misery of the mind? How do misery come to the mind? I mean, this is just for us to think, right?
When the intelligence is not sorted, the overthinking causes misery.
Yeah, depression. These days we're speaking of depression and all types of
Psychiatric problem.
Yeah. What's this? From? Yes. Yeah, attachment. Dhyayato visham pumsam, right? Sangasteshu pajayate, right? Right? This attachment to the mind, thinking, right? We take pleasure in being miserable. We enjoy being miserable. Because you have to be something, right? You can't be happy. Therefore, you enjoy being in misery. You enjoy thinking of how this one, that one treated me. Right? Is it true? We go again and again, we use, it's like a movie, Keep saying this, our love is a movie. We like to do the replay again and again. Right? This is the misery of the mind. Movie that is replayed again and again. Who's in charge? Who's in charge of this replay? Yes. You yourself, yes. You keep on replaying, right? Press the button and replay. Replay. Nobody is making you replay. You replay. Something did happen. It's not that it didn't happen. It happened, but what do? Replay. Who's pressing that? Because you enjoy it. I don't know whether this is called being sadist or what. Right?
No, but it's now giving pleasure, problems to others, miseries to others.
Yeah, and to yourself, right?
This is giving self.
It can also arise because the person is fearful, they don't want to come out of their condition, so they want to stay in the same condition. So once they become Krishna conscious, they can be fearless to them.
Yes, so therefore, that's why this Chetu Darpanam Marjanam through the chanting. Right? So these faith and providence very little. Providence is just a climate. We mess up things, then what will Providence do? Right?
Like Corona.
Yeah, that was Providence, right?
Yeah, Corona was Providence.
Corona was Providence, but the things we did, right?
It was a complete reaction, I mean.
Yeah, I'm saying, that coronavirus, if you look carefully, if you analyze the whole story, coronavirus, it just came, it will have gone, right? But how we took advantage, how people took advantage of that virus. Providence is doing, okay, it's sending, it's like a cyclone, right? It's going. But how people took advantage of this? Like during wars, people become wealthy.
So, Mataji, coronavirus is a true example of what Prabhupada is saying here. The destiny will come, but if you focus on Krishna consciousness,
Yeah.
you can overcome it.
Yes.
We have to live through whatever.
Yes. Yeah, we all live through it, right? We all live through it.
Many had to go also.
But we're still here. All right, thank you very much, Hare Krishna. It's very intense, no? Next week is going to be even more intense. A man may carry a burden on his head, and what he does, he puts it on his shoulder. This is counteraction. This whole section is about counteracting misery. Hare Krishna. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. Yes, there is prasad.